What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Boyers YouTube channel. I'm out here today just for a short ride. Experiencing a little burnout from work, so decided to block a little time off, get out on my bike, grab something to eat, and then get back for my afternoon meetings. Alright, so first I think I'll just talk a little bit about what I'm riding in this short amount of time. So I've been wanting to do this for a while now. Once I got this adventure bike, I got out and I started exploring the local roads around me. And I live not in the best riding area, south of Frederick, currently in Montgomery County right now. And you'd probably think there's not a lot of good riding out of there because it's just nothing but traffic and 270 and 355. So surprisingly, around this area there are a few gravel roads. And I thought about just putting together my own little ADV loop. So I worked on that on the computer and got about 170 miles, which I think will be a fun day to get together. But obviously got to fine tune it. I'm sure there's some better stuff out there. But thought I'd just kind of jump out on my lunch break and check out a small portion of it. So the next topic I figured I'd talk about is what just kind of happened this past weekend. We had our first annual two-wheeled rider ADV ride. As many of you know, Mario from Two-Wheeled Rider has done numerous wild and wonderful weekends that are strictly on the pavement, and we got together around our passion for kind of the gravel and dirt roads and some of the more remote back roads and put together a two-day event. We had an awesome group of guys come along, great riders, a lot of fun to hang out with, and it couldn't have gone more smoother. I think everyone had a blast, and really looking forward to diving into the footage. So I've started working on the editing, but it'll take a little while as I was just having so much fun. I definitely overshot video footage, but it's fun reliving the trip, and that video will probably be out next week or the following. The other update is we'll have some exciting podcasts coming. We just got the one out around van life, and one of our friends, Corey Schaefer, during the COVID took advantage of the working from home, converted a van, and traveled the country with his dirt bike. So that podcast is out on your favorite podcast platform, so check out Two-Wheeled Rider Podcast. You know, we haven't been as frequent with the uploads on the podcast. One, we just have some really big plans with the riding events in the future. We had the 2WR adventure ride I just talked about. Hi, puppy. So just been busy with that, but we're definitely looking forward to the riding season slowing down slightly, and we'll get out more podcasts. Some exciting ones coming up. You know, we're going to have another podcast really talking about what our plans are for 22. Exciting details to share, and really putting more effort into, you know, riding events for next year and getting out with all the great listeners and subscribers. So the next topic I wanted to kind of talk about, and it's probably the title of this video, is just kind of work-life balance and the burnout. I've been really fortunate through COVID to have a job that is consistent and was kind of COVID proof, if you will, but with that, it's definitely been busy, working really long days with all the supply chain issues that are going on. I know have affected a lot of people in their jobs, and for mine it's just made it busier and crazier. It's definitely been a challenge finding that work-life balance and making sure that I'm working towards some dreams that I want, that I'm actually passionate around, like the podcast and writing events, but also making sure that my effort goes into the job that actually pays my bills and puts food on the table. And then you have all the family time. You're trying to do the stuff that you're passionate about, the job, and then making sure you have allocation time for the family. And it's been tough. It's, you know, my regular day job, it's been finding, you know, anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a day and never feeling caught up, and it definitely takes a toll and puts you kind of in a funk when you just feel like you're not ever getting to accomplish what you wish you were. So now right now it just seems like the world's a mess. I mean, the stuff going on, I feel people are more divided than ever, whether it's vaccinated, not vaccinated, the people that are having to quit their jobs because they're forced to do something that they don't really want to do. It's just really a mess right now. The supply chain issues, the inflation with food and all the other good supplies that everyone needs for a day-to-day basis. It's really a mess, and it's affected everybody. And for me, I've been, fortunate, but at the same time, it takes a toll on you. There's certain things that just change. It puts added stress on you when you have family and kids, making sure you're making the right decision for yourself and for your family. And it's kind of tough right now to believe what's being reported. You don't know who to believe. And I think that's definitely a challenge and an added stress when we already got a lot of different stresses. But overall, I think the best thing for me, besides writing obviously, is just focusing on the positives, the good things that we do have. And I think a lot of people gained a different perspective out of all this COVID stuff, whether it's better work-life balance, maybe it's understanding that your job isn't everything, and finding more quality time with your family. I know for me personally, the biggest benefits have been not having to go in the office every day, sitting an hour and a half in traffic, getting that time with my kids in the morning for a little bit that I didn't prior have, because I was in the rat race to skip traffic, and my wife took the kids to daycare. So I've enjoyed those extra moments with them. I think the downside from working from home is finding that balance. I really find myself working way more hours and not shutting it off for that evening time. So I'm really challenging myself for the rest of this year, next year, to find that balance. And that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just get out on the bike for a little bit and not being stuck to that desk for 10 to 15 hours straight and not getting up. For a lot of us, it's a challenge because you want to be a hard worker, you want to kick ass and give the highest performance, but also recognizing that if your health goes or you're not spending that time with your family, I don't think you're going to be on your deathbed worried about staying that extra 2 hours for your job. So it's a balance act. You want to be able to dedicate yourself so you can move up and provide for your family, but also understanding that the kids probably don't care that much what the numbers are on that paycheck. They care about the number of minutes or hours you're spending with them each day. I definitely can't say I've perfected it. I have a long way to go to find that balance, but I'm trying. I definitely don't want this vlog to be all negative. So really curious, for those that have stuck around, what are some of the positives that have come out of the change in life for COVID? I know there's plenty of negative, but there's also, I believe, a ton of positive. Comment below of any kind of positives that have come out for this, or any words of advice to kind of balance. I know another aspect, obviously priority number one, is being around my kids. They give me the most joy, but also trying to get back to what I'm passionate about. I think, as you have a family, it's more of a challenge to get out on your bike or get back to the hobbies that you enjoyed prior, especially while they're young. So that's another area that I'm just balancing and making sure that I have some of that stuff that I enjoy that I've stopped doing. And I'm hoping, next year I'll have at least 2 kids that are kind of racing age, so getting back to a few races and finding balance there as well. Really miss hanging out with all the crew at the track and helping out with the races. The third passion I really have is helping other people, from the charity event we have up at the farm to these riding events that we've done. It's just so much fun watching other people really enjoy 2 wheels, enjoying an event that you put together. So Maria and I have had a lot of discussions and a lot of phone calls around what we want to do in 2022, and I think we have some exciting things that we'll talk about on the upcoming podcast. Today is one of those very few times I've stepped away from the desk for a lunch break, and no better way than getting out on 2 wheels. You still feel this guilty feeling being away, and I think that's what's pretty crazy when you transition to working from home. Somehow I got glued to that desk, and even getting upstairs sometimes is a challenge to get myself a sandwich, and it'll be 8 hours into my day and I haven't eaten, and it's definitely not a healthy thing to continue. And I'm trying to put a more focus on my health and getting into the doctors for checkups, finding the work-life balance, and getting out of my bike most. I think that's the best medicine there is. It's nice, they just looks like they put down some fresh gravel. This is a fun little road. No potholes to worry about anymore. Yeah, so I know a random vlog, but I figured a lot of you can probably relate and probably even have some great advice down in the comments. I want to continue to work my way over to lunch, grab a quick bite to eat, and then go grab my chain and ball and reconnect that and sit back down at the desk and catch up on the work that I missed. But I appreciate everyone that tuned in. The Two-Wheeled Rider ADV Day 1 video will be coming out probably a week from the time you see this video. And definitely check that out if you're interested in any future events. Alright, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time.